Hello my dear students, welcome to SR English ICSE tutorial. In my last video, I have taught you this Julius Caesar Act 2 scene 1 till here, where Brutus, this is the soliloquy of Brutus, Lucius went inside to see the date of the calendar and now he is back. So we'll start from here, enter Lucius. If you go back and see the last video, you will find till here I have completed my explanation. So we'll start Julius Caesar Act 2 Scene 1 from line number 59. Lucius. So Lucius comes back and informs Brutus that it is the date that is in the calendar. He says, "Sir, March is wasted 15 days. Wasted means gone. 15 days of March, the days are gone." Now here you have to take some note that the time Lucius informs Brutus about the date, that is break of the dawn, okay, or break of the day. It is early, not only early morning but dawn. So he is counting that day. So he is saying that 15 days are gone. Actually that is the 15th day. That is Ides of March. Actually 14 days are gone. Now Lucius, he is counting that day as one full day. And he is informing Brutus that it is 15 days of March are gone, but actually 14 days are gone. This is the 15th day or Ides of March. And then there is knocking. So Brutus says it is good, go to the gate, somebody knocks. So he commands Lucius to go and see who knocks at the door. So exit, Lucius goes out. Now again he is alone. This is again Brutus's soliloquy. So Brutus says that "'tis since Cassius first did whet me set my mind against, has spoken against Caesar, I have not slept." So this has created such an anxiety in my mind. Since Cassius has said certain things about Caesar, I have been restless and unable to sleep. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion. Here first motion means the thought, okay, the impulse to perform, the thought of performing the deed, and actually when you act, the performance and the thought to perform, or the initiative you take to perform, all the interim means gap. So this gap is like a phantasma, a nightmare, or a hideous dream, a bad dream. The genius, why he says that it's a difficult time. One thing you should remember, that Caesar is his best friend. So he is going to murder or kill not only the tyrant, but he is going to murder Caesar, his best friend, his bosom friend. So then he says, so the initiative he has to take, the thought, the planning he has to make to kill Caesar, and finally when he will do it. So this period, this gap, this little time, while is like a horrible dream, it's like a nightmare. And why? Because the genius and the mortal instrument. Genius means the soul of a man, and the mortal instrument. Mortal instrument refers to organs, the organs that will function. With the help of those organs he has to perform the deed, are in council are in conflict. The soul and the body does not agree, and the state of man and the condition of man is like a little kingdom, and then the condition, mental condition, physical condition is just like a little small kingdom that suffers then the nature of insurrection, civil war. Civil war means people of the same country fighting against each other. So here Brutus calls himself as if a little kingdom, his own self. He calls his own self a little kingdom which suffers from civil war. That means the organs and the mind, they're fighting, they're constantly in conflict with each other. Again enter Lucius. Sir, 'tis your brother, Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you. Brother, actually brother-in-law. Cassius has a relation with Brutus. He has married Brutus's sister, Junia. Her name is Junia, Junia. I am writing beside this sister Junia. If you can see my handwriting. So he has married Brutus's sister Junia, and by that he is actually brother-in-law of Brutus. So Lucius says, it is your brother-in-law who has come to see you. Brutus, is he alone? Lucius says, no sir, there are more with him. More people accompany him. Brutus, do you know them? Anyone of your acquaintance? Lucius says, no sir. Their hats are plucked about their ears and half their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them. So when Brutus says, do you know anyone of your acquaintance, someone known to you? He says, no sir, there is no way also to find out if anybody out of so many people I know anyone or not, because why? Point one is their hats are plucked about, pulled down. They are wearing hat which is pulled down till their ears and half of the face is covered, and rest half is buried in their cloaks. So they are wearing long coats. Cloaks are long coat sort of thing. So they have buried their face. That means only maybe the nose is visible. The eyes, the ears are covered with hat, and the mouth is covered with cloak. So very little part of their face is revealed, and by that, by no means, so there is no way. They have covered their face in such a way that there is no way that I discover them, identify their faces. I am not able to identify any of their faces. This is the 2 points he says. One is the hat plucked down, and another is their faces buried in the cloaks. Lucius says, by any mark of favor, any feature of the face is not visible, so not possible to identify their face. Brutus says, let them enter to meet me. Now Lucius goes away, exit, and he is again alone here, speaking to himself, or you can say soliloquy. They are the faction, party of conspirators. He has understood why Cassius, or with whom Cassius has come. So he says, they are the party of conspirators who has come to meet me. Now from this line he starts personification of conspiracy, as if conspiracy is a human being. So he says, O conspiracy, shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night, when evils are most free? Oh, then by day where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? So he says that conspiracy, shamest, you feel shameful, you are ashamed, thou means yourself, to show thy dangerous brow, dangerous face, your evil face by night. By night, why he calls it by night? Because now it is break of dawn. So not even the sunrise has taken place. So when evils are most free, when evil is the time, night is the time when evil is very common, is committed at this time. So the time of night only you are feeling ashamed, you have to hide your face in such a way that you are not identified by anyone. By night only you are feeling so much ashamed to show your face. Then by day, so during the daytime, when with broad sunlight and when all the roads are crowded with people, where wilt thou find a cavern? Cavern means cave. Cave dark enough to mask. To mask means hide thy monstrous visage, monstrous, horrible, evil face. So by night only you are feeling ashamed, when means every type of evil is committed. So during the daytime, where will you find any dark cave to hide yourself? Seek none, seek none. Don't try to find any such place, because you will not get it. Conspiracy, hide it in smiles and affability. So better you try to hide your evilness. You try to hide your horrid image in smiles and affability in friendliness. For if thou path thy negative semblance, nor Erebus itself were dim enough to hide thee from prevention. So, native semblance, your original face or natural face. If you walk and show your natural face, then not Erebus. Erebus is hell, which is a dark place. So if you go anywhere with your natural face, then not even hell will be enough to hide you from prevention being discovered. So here he says that if you go or walk about with your natural appearance, even hell will, which is dark place, is not enough to hide you from getting discovered. Now next is enters the conspirators who have come to meet Brutus: Cassius, Casca, Decius, Cinna, Metellus Cimber and Trebonius. So who all enters the scene? This the question may come. You can mug up all these names. Cassius: I think we are too bold upon your rest. Bold upon your rest, we are disturbing. This is the resting time for you. Good morning, Brutus. Do we trouble you? Brutus: I have been up this hour, since 1 hour I am awake, and awake all night. I haven't got any sleep all night. Know I these men that come along with you? Know I these men? Let me get introduced. You introduce me with those who have come with you. Now Cassius says, yes, every man of them, everyone who is with me now, and no man here that is present here but honors you. So every one of them honors you, and every one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself. And every one of them who are with me, they wish that you also hold great opinion. People hold you in great opinion. They call you, or they consider you as one of the noblest and one of the most honorable men in the whole Rome. So you also too, our wishes, you also too, think should have high opinion of yourself, which every Roman, not only these conspirators, but every Roman bears of you, think highly about you. And the first one whom he introduces is Trebonius. He says, this is Trebonius. Brutus: he is welcome hither. Now Cassius: this is Decius Brutus. Brutus welcomes him also. Cassius: this is Casca, this Cinna, and this Metellus Cimber. Brutus: they all are welcome. What watchful cares? What matters, or which matter do interpose themselves? They have prevented, or disturbed, or remained, have kept them awake betwixt your eyes and night. Night means they have been interfering, the matter which is interfering and between their eyes and the night. Shall I entreat a word? Cassius wants to have a word separately with Brutus. So he and Brutus goes to another side and they whisper. Decius looks at the sky, and the eastern sky. Here lies the east, that means this side is the east. Doth not the day break here? From this side, that means the eastern side, the sun will rise. Next page. So Casca says no. No to Decius's asking that whether this is the eastern side or not, where the sun will rise. Casca says no. Now Cinna says, oh pardon sir, it doth. Cinna corrects Casca and say, no, that is actually the eastern side that Decius Brutus has said. And yawn means those are the grey lines that fret. Fret means mark the clouds. Cloud means sky, are the messenger of day. and from there only faint grey lights will appear, which marks the sunrise, messenger of the day, that brings those lights, those grey lights brings the message of they are as a messenger of the day, that means sun. The sun will rise from there. Now Casca, here he defines the eastern side according to his own, idea. Now, he wants to say something else. Now let's read and find out. He says, you shall confess that you are both deceived. Deceived, mistaken. Both are mistaken. Here as I point my sword, the sun rises. He is pointing his sword towards some direction, and he says that sun will rise from that direction, not from the direction you are pointing towards east, which is a great way growing. Great way growing means it's much more on the south towards the south than the direction which Cinna and Decius are looking. So you have to look to some other direction. Okay. Weighing the youthful season, that is now it is spring going on. So now it is spring. He calls spring as youthful season of the year. Since 2 months hence, after 2 months, up higher towards the north, then the sun will rise from the southern direction to the higher direction, that is straight towards the north. He first presents his fire. So he will first present rays of the sun, fire, and high east stands, that will towards the east. Then from that day onwards, after 2 months, he will be rising towards the east. Now, as the capital directly here, now Casca is actually pointing his sword, that is this line where he says, actually pointing his sword towards capital, and he calls it directly here. So he is actually talking about revolution, or the new day, the time of hope, okay, when it will come after murder of Caesar. So he is pointing his sword at capital because this is the place today. Today is Ides of March. They will murder Caesar over here in this place, and he actually wants to say that East is identified with the dawn of their new hopes, and so Casca points with his sword towards the capital where Caesar will soon be assassinated. So according to him, that it will come, now east will come, where from really the sun will rise, is actually after few days when Caesar will get, after few days after Caesar's death. Now Brutus says, give me your hands all over one by one. So he says to join their hands one by one. Cassius says, yes, and let us swear our resolution to take an oath. Okay. Cassius here says that yes, let us join hand and take an oath, let us decide. Now Brutus says that no, not an oath. Brutus says no, not an oath. Not an oath, we don't need an oath, we don't need any promise. If not the face of men, sad faces, people are suffering. If the suffering of people, the sufferance of our souls, if the sad faces and the suffering souls of ours, the times abuse, the corruption that is now prevailing in Rome, the tyranny, the dominance, if these be motives weak, if these are not strong enough motives, if all these factors are not strong enough to motivate us, then break off betimes. So then let us break off our enterprise. No need to join hands, or no need to come and think of what we have thought. Betimes, just now. Just now let us break off with this enterprise, with our plans. No need to gather together. And every man hence to his idle bed and go back and sleep. Be lazy. You don't have to think about the betterment of Rome, or to free Rome, the liberty of Rome from tyranny. You don't have to do all this. Go back to your house and sleep. So let high-spirited tyranny and let high-sighted tyranny range on, dominate or roam about approach, till each man drop by lottery. Drop by lottery according to the wish of the tyrant. The tyrant will choose, like as if they are the tyrant will search for prey. Still people start dying according to the wish of the tyrant. And but if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards and to steal with valor. So Brutus says that, so high-sighted tyranny range until each man drop by lottery. High-sighted means tyranny sitting at a great height. Okay, tyranny at a higher position that looks down as if an eagle, a bird of prey sitting at a great height, and from there the bird chooses its prey, and then by lottery, means according to his choice, he will go on searching or hunting the prey, hunting for prey. But if these, as I am sure they do bear fire enough, all these factors, all this suffering, how tyranny or how the tyrant will torture or means torture people like slave. So if these, as I am sure they do, definitely all these factors or all these present condition of Rome, bear fire enough to kindle. So these factors or these reasons are enough to kindle cowards. Even a coward will also be encouraged. Kindle means to encourage. And to steal with valor. Steal means strengthen. Strengthen the heart with valor. The melting spirit of woman, even the gentle spirit of woman, will be hardened, will be as hard as steel. Okay, it will be as hard as steel. The soft spirit of woman. Then countrymen, what need we any spur? Any spur? Do we need any other motivation? Do we need any other cause? But our own cause, our own suffering. We the Romans, there is a common cause, that is, the Roman will be in the hands of a tyrant, suffering like slaves. To prick means to urge. We should have that urge to redress to see, to set things right, to set all the grievances of people right, to give justice to people. Those are that urge is enough. What other bond than secret Romans that, and he says, what other bond than secret Romans? Secret Romans who keep whatever we are speaking to each other, we can keep that secret. That means that much trustworthy we are. That have spoke words and will not palter. Palter means to cheat. Whatever we have spoken will not betray each other. So this is what we need. What other oath than honesty to honesty engage? We are engaged with each other on the base of honesty. Honesty or faith. Faith towards each other, trust, honesty, that is needed. When we are engaged means that is promised. What we are doing, we'll do it with honesty. That this shall be, that this will succeed, or we'll fall for it. We'll promise each other with honesty, we'll perform the deed. Either we succeed or we fall for it, or we'll die. So this line, once again, it was not visible to you. So, and what oath than honesty to honesty engaged? Honesty to honesty engaged, we are engaged with promising each other with full honesty. We will be trustworthy to each other, will not betray each other, and we will perform this deed with honesty, that this shall be, either we succeed or we fall for it, or we die. Swear priests and cowards and men Cotilius. Cotilius means those who are deceivers. These people will swear, these people will take oaths. Next page. Old feeble carry-ons. Old feeble carry-ons, people who are weak. People who are weak, they look like dead bodies, and such suffering souls that welcome wrongs. They welcome wrong, they tolerate injustice. They cannot protest, they are weak souls. Unto bad causes swear such creatures as men doubt. Unto bad causes, they show as if they are fighting against some wrong cause. And they swear to fight. And such men as doubt. Doubt means people don't trust them. So these kind of people will take oaths, not we. But, so creatures as men doubt, but do not stain that even the virtue of our enterprise. So do not stain by taking an oath. So not to stain, we should not blemish. It should not appear as crime. Our enterprise is pure. The goodness, the virtue, the goodness of our enterprise, that the plan we are doing to murder Caesar, that should not appear as a crime. Nor the insuppressive metal. Insuppressible metal means undaunted. Undaunted, that is indomitable courage. The courage of our spirit to think that our cause or our performance did need an oath. So thinking of taking an oath will look as if we are going to commit a crime by murdering Caesar, but it's not that. We are actually cleaning. It's like cleaning of Rome. When every drop of blood that every Roman bears, the blood that is running in the veins of every Roman, and nobly bears, is guilty of several bastardy. Bastardy means treachery. If we need an oath to murder Caesar, it will appear as if we are not true Romans. If he do break, if he means any Roman today present here, the smallest particle, smallest part, even smallest part of any promise that hath passed from him, he has given, or he has promised, and or has come from him. So here he says that we don't need, we who all are taking part in removing the tyranny from Rome and making Rome liberal or free from any sort of tyranny. So that is for this such a noble work that we don't need an oath. If we do so, it will appear as if we are doing a crime. So I end my explanation over here, line by line, as far as possible. I have done it. If you think this is useful, please share it with your friends, and like, share and comment. And if you think it is useful to you, please do subscribe my channel. Thank you.